Hello and welcome to a rather windy Woodfired Weekly. Today we are going to be cooking mussels a la plancha, a lovely Spanish, South American Spanish kind of a dish using these beautiful mussels that we get from the South Devon coast here, bang in the middle of their season, really great condition at this time of year. So a great time to get some of these and do lots with them. Today we're going to cook them with a little bit of smoke open, so they're not going to be steamed, they're not like a moule marinière. We're going to smoke them and then we're going to marry them up with a lovely salsa. We're going to be using the Morso oven today, and I'm going to use a Tuscan grill in the Morso so that I get some nice heat under these mussels. I want them to cook from beneath, or get lots of heat from beneath to cook them and open them up. And then on the side we'll have a bunch of embers, throw some chips on there, some nice damp wood chips, lots of smoke billowing around to give them a lovely smoky flavour. First thing I need to do is just push most of these embers aside, and I'll use the fire retainer here. And I'm using the fire retainer here to keep most of the embers out of the way and just leave those in the middle. Sit the Tuscan grill over there and then set my pan on top of the Tuscan grill. And I've selected this pan because these mussels will sit just about flat in there. I don't want them all piled up on top of each other. Got my pan nice and hot, a nice bed of embers on the side just about to die down. So we're in good shape. I've got some chips here ready soaked, and these are soaked so that they don't combust. We don't want them to burst into flame. We want to produce a big old hit of smoke, so I've got lots of those there. So I'm going to use this smoke keeper and pop it on top of the flue, and that will reduce the flow so that we concentrate the amount of smoke around our mussels. Then a big handful of chips directly onto the fire. Try not to burn myself in the process. And the mussels straight into the pan, nice and hot. Hit that with a lovely sizzle, flatten them down. In there, it's getting kind of smoky around here now. And pop the door on, and those will take 5 to 10 minutes, no more than that. In the meantime, we're going to make our little salsa, and I've already got my pan on top of the oven here heating up, and the top of the Morso oven actually gets really nice and hot and is really good for popping a pan on, keeping your sauce warm, doing a little frying, or even cooking flatbreads directly on the top there. Some olive oil in there, and into there some onion, some tomato, and a little bit of chili. This is kind of a South American thing, so there would typically be a little bit of chili in it. If it was a Spanish dish, probably not. You decide how much chili you like. Of course, this one should be nice and fruity, not too hot. And I just want this to kind of braise. I'm not really trying to fry this, so they didn't go into this pan with a big sizzle. I just want everything to sort of soften, and the heat on top of there should do that perfectly. I'll spin these mussels round for some even cooking, and you can see there's still plenty of smoke billowing around in there. So that's been about 10 minutes. Time to have a look. And if you have a look at this, you can see these are all opening up nicely. Not quite 100%, so we'll just give them a couple of minutes more, but I think we're pretty much there. I think those should be done now. All nicely opening up. We're going to let those cool down for a few minutes before I start opening them up and taking one half of the shell off. And whilst that was happening, my tomato and onions have just sort of softened down nicely. I haven't fried these, I've just kind of braised them in that olive oil, and they've all gone nice and soft. Whilst those are cooling, I'm going to quickly finish off the salsa, and for this, zest and juice of half a lemon, And the salsa should be a nice balance of sharpness and sweetness, a little bit of heat. So we've got sweet tomatoes, the onions braised, they'll add some sweetness. Now a little bit of sharpness from the lemon and a little sweetness from the zest, freshness from parsley, lots of parsley, and of course saltiness. A little more olive oil. Give that all a stir up and let the parsley wilt down a tiny bit. So if these are cooled down enough now, I'm going to just take off one half and arrange them on this plate. And these are not served hot, these are served room temperature, like a lot of Mediterranean food. They're not so crazed about everything being piping hot as we are. So these would make a lovely little tapas, a lovely little late summer, early autumn starter. So they've all come out of their shells really nicely. They've got a lovely light smoky smell to them. And I'm just going to quickly spoon over a little bit of salsa onto each one. This is one of those jobs that you want to do in advance, of course. So these are kind of a nice snack for people to have on arrival if they're coming over and you've done this, and when it's all nice and quiet. So that's a beautiful looking plate of smoked mussels with a little salsa over the top. Absolutely perfect to greet your guests with a little glass of something chilled and delicious. Follow the link below to see the recipe. If you've enjoyed this video, please subscribe to our channel and we'll see you next time.